as the sign reads, "What was once a flour mill is now a fine motel," here in Sheridan, Wyoming. And this is certainly eastern Wyoming. Many hundreds of miles of rolling prairie. Absolutely beautiful country. It rained overnight, so the smoke effect is a little bit less than it has been the last couple days. The visibility is a little bit higher. There's a pretty strong sulfur smell coming from this power plant. I think huge mining operation. Welcome to the town of Moorcroft, Wyoming. Here we have Blakeman Propane. Pretty sizable propane company. And a little rail terminal right next to them. We're about 15 miles out, and there, between the trees there, is Devil's Tower. This is the most visibility I've had basically this whole trip, between the fog and then the smoke from all the wildfires, the coastal fog and then the wildfire smoke inland. But B, also, oh my god, what a striking landmark at such a distance. Look at the rest of this foreground. My lord. Incredible sediments. And very fun fourth gear driving. unfortunately for me, I have about 8 more hours of driving to do, and so I will not be getting any closer to Devil's Tower than the Devil's Tower trading post. That said, I must recommend the Devil's Tower trading post for all of your bags full of shiny rocks, for all of your, and hey, let's see if I can get that in front of the camera here, bag of shiny rocks. Oh god. There we go. Bag of shiny rocks. I can recommend it for that. I can recommend it for weird pins. Encounter Devil's Tower, Wyoming. I can recommend it for poker chips. Special poker chips. That it has an establishment date as a national monument is funny, because as a physical structure, it's huge. Alien socks. They will sell you your alien socks for Area 18, Devil's Tower. It's just the best. Definitely visit Devil's Tower Trading Post. It's the Wednesday after Sturgis, but that is not stopping these guys and gals from heading out to Devil's Tower, doing the old Devil's Tower run. Sturgis 2021. Sturgis motorcycles. Just missed the sign, but we've now entered South Dakota. It's a beautiful state. In addition to having a Starbucks... Oh no, that's not a Starbucks. Well, whatever. The center of the nation is, I think, right here at exit 10. We're here on I-90, maybe 20, 30 miles into South Dakota, coming in from its western border, and about 10 miles north of these cows here is the geographic center of the nation. If you'd like to visit it, there is a geographic center of the nation monument, which is available in many mapping programs, and they will navigate you straight there to the geographic center of the nation. I guess you could also get there by having a deep internal sense of the land and just kind of finding its center with your land mind. Deadwood. We're driving towards Deadwood, and this is the Black Hills National Forest. And I think we've just entered the town of Deadwood. Driving through the place, it's definitely got a cleaning up after a weird party kind of vibe to it. left Wyoming. We've left the Badlands portion of South Dakota. Now we're in central South Dakota. And we were headed due east. Absolutely due east on a road that just goes straight for hundreds of miles. This is my view, this and views like it, for 111 miles, it looks like, and then I make a slight left turn to continue on Route 212 here. This is middle of the country driving. You gotta do this. You're either doing this in Nebraska and Kansas, or you're doing it here and in Wisconsin, or you're doing it further south. But you gotta pick one of these big flat states and just drive straight across it in one direction. We've made our choice. Route 212. Both our left and right here is the Missouri River. I believe here it's called Lake Oneida, but this is about midway through South Dakota, and currently we are on mountain time, as is the western half of the state. The eastern half of the state is on central time, and the dividing border between them is this river, and I will be crossing that border on the bridge that you might have caught a glimpse of another couple miles up ahead. We have been driving through the Cheyenne River Indian Reservation, and when we cross the Missouri River here, we will be driving into the Standing Rock Reservation. And for Pittsburgh's psychogeographical purposes, crossing the Missouri here is one step closer to us crossing. Oh wait, I guess we'll cross the Missouri, and then the next river to cross is the Allegheny, because this is the Mississippi, upriver of the Mississippi. But in any case, we're definitely shifting through our watersheds here. We crossed the Continental Divide a couple days ago. Yesterday morning. So all the water that fell on all the land that we saw ended up somewhere in here or downstream of it. Lake Oahe. Central Time. This is the industrial heart of Gettysburg, South Dakota, where the battle wasn't, so lists the town. This is absolutely where trucks come to drop off huge amounts of grain. It is that golden hour. It's sort of 7:30. You can just see the shadow of the truck stretching out before us. We are on 212, rural 212 in South Dakota. I think we are squarely in western South Dakota at this point. We are definitely in the Corn Belt. This oncoming truck is perhaps the first vehicle I've seen in about 5 minutes. Definitely the first other human I've seen in about 5 minutes. Hey buddy. Hi buddy. Most of what I've been seeing, and I hope he might catch some of these, but I don't know if he scared them. It's so lonesome out here that the birds just hang out on the roads and like all take off at once whenever a car comes by, because the cars are just not frequent enough. Like the road is kind of bird zone, and I'm just passing through bird zone, disrupting them. So I guess I'll keep driving, and maybe there will be like a nice quick transition to bird zone if I'm able to catch them, you know. But I expect the shadow to jump a little bit, I presume, in relationship to time and motion, and sneaky edits. Okay, for the nerds who really noticed the shadow, you can go ahead and calculate kind of how many degrees in the skies 360-degree arc, the sun moved, and maybe kind of figure out nominally how much time passed. I'm not really seeing any birds, but we are about to turn and head due south for some amount of miles, so I wanted to at least, complete our little shadow ritual. I guess you can see some birds flying off, but yeah, it's pretty funny to be in their territory and not really our territory, though it kind of seems like we maintain it. It's for them. You see that deer? You see that deer? Yeah, that was a buck. Well, okay, I passed that buck about a minute ago, and that raises some heart palpitations. Oh yeah, shadow check. It's been a couple more minutes. Yeah, you guys do some math, figure it out. Tell me where I've been. Right, so tips for driving when you are kind of concerned that there's going to be deer. Now is the right time to be concerned that there's going to be deer. This is what's called by photographers the golden hour, because especially if you are facing east, as we are, the sun is behind you. It's shining through the atmosphere with a really vibrant, warm set of colors across the spectrum of light that we can perceive from the sun, because it's lighting up kind of different stuff in the atmosphere at slightly different angles, and it's a really beautiful time. Also, it's getting towards dusk. It's kind of right before dusk, and there are stages of dusk. I think astronomical is when the sun goes below the horizon. Civil is maybe 15 minutes after that, and nautical is, I think, 15 minutes after that, because I guess on the sea you're able to perceive, there's kind of like more light that interferes with stuff until after nautical twilight. I don't know. Write your answers in the comments, or I will, or I'll kind of write them here. In any case, so deer are crepuscular. They are most active at dusk and at dawn, the kind of partial light hours. So look for them around this time. In a place like this, one of the reasons why they mow the sides of the road here is to kind of keep the sight lines open, and so you really want to be watching the edges of the sight lines to see things emerging towards the road. Any kind of movement that's happening lateral to the road is something that you want to pay attention to. And the first thing you want to do when you see that kind of movement is you want to just glance into your rearview mirror and make sure you have situational awareness about who's behind you, is anyone behind you, what's the situation for being able to like slow down or not slow down, or dodge this crazy herbivore that is coming out into the road, or not dodge it. But it's good to know if there's like a big truck behind you, because that kind of limits your options, obviously. Hey, we're definitely having that bird time. Check this guy out. Right, we're disrupting birds on the road. So yeah, glance in the rearview mirror and just to see situationally who's behind you, if anyone's behind you, and then if you're far enough away, the best thing to do is to start slowly braking. Certainly, take your foot off the gas pedal, get both hands on the wheel, act like it's a real situation and not just kind of some deer, because it is a real situation. Yeah, keep yourself loose. I mean, like, don't kind of like straight arm your vehicle right into the deer. That's not good. But yeah, kind of see the thing. Just double check your surroundings. Start to slow down. And fundamentally, you're in control of a 2,000-pound vehicle, and this herbivore, if it's a deer, isn't going to weigh more than like 400 pounds. That would be like a crazy, crazy big deer to weigh 400 pounds. You'd be in like, I don't know deer from deer, but like 400 pounds would be a lot. So, in terms of who's going to live and who's going to die, like, your car is going to smash into this deer, and the deer is just going to, like, blow apart like a big sack of potatoes. And that's sort of awful, but, like, that's the real truth of it, The worst thing it's going to do is it's going to blow apart like a sack of potatoes that hit your windshield at, speed. And so, what you can kind of control is your speed. As much as you can control your speed by braking, if you're able to brake, and you can control kind of like how in control you are of your vehicle as the collision occurs. And you don't want to like steer away from the deer, because honestly, like, their reaction time's much better than yours, and they will do some sort of flippy jump stupid thing instead of actually kind of what you expect them to, pretty much no matter what. So like, don't even trip. If they were gonna die today, today's their day, and God has chosen you as the instrument of death. And it's not personal, it's not about you, it's just what's happening to this deer. And what's happening to this deer is your car, under your control. And so what you want to do is make sure that you actually maintain control of your vehicle through the entire incident. It's a little distressing to see movement off on the side of the road. It's more distressing to realize that movement really is kind of like a big animal. And even more distressing when you find out that maybe like there's someone behind you and that you won't really be able to like slow down, and that this animal's just gonna like get in front of your vehicle. Well, even if you have like a little busted up Tacoma, like I do, or like a Camry, or like a little Golf, or a Jetta, or a Volt, or a Tesla, like, kind of, like, regardless, unless you're a motorcyclist, in which case, heaven help you, don't ride at dusk through rural South Dakota. Like, there's your first step, man. Like, get off the bike. Drink some water, hydrate. Pee in the cornfield. But for the rest of you driving during this time, all I'm saying is, like, if a deer gets in your way, it's not about you, but you do have control, and what you need to do as that occurs is not panic and maintain control. Maintain control of your vehicle, maintain control of your awareness. If you hit this deer, and, like, maybe it busts up your windshield, maybe it just covers it with gore, certainly you're going to want to kind of pull over and inspect your vehicle after the fact, but step one is survive, and you survive by going ahead and hitting the deer the way you would want to hit the deer to live, for you to live, rather than really worrying about who's better, or like how is this gonna go, just, hey, you know, my shadow's gone on the truck here, and that's because, like, the sun has hit the haze, the horrible haze. It's much less visible, the shadow is. You can just see it on the road there. Anyway, yeah, all the smoke is just terrible over Wyoming. So watch out for deer. Good morning. We are in South Dakota. We are driving through South Dakota Lake Country. I drove through it last night a little bit, just at the right golden twilight hour to get thousands and thousands of insects dead on my windshield. It was incredible. It was like it was raining bugs. But with this much water out on the land, sure, why not?